Hey y'all, SherriG. So this past Saturday was the last episode of this half of season 6 for Love and Marriage, Huntsville. So there have been new video clips that have been dropped of the upcoming season. They seem to be pretty interesting. It looks like the season is going to be hot and on fire. However, I still, in my opinion, haven't seen anything as it relates to business in a real sense. Like we've seen a little snip of this and a little snip of that. And looking at the upcoming trailers that were dropped, the mid-season trailers, we still haven't really seen anything business-wise, in my opinion. But we did see Marsau complaining about Melody not contributing to the expo. And I don't know. When I first started my channel, I started it before this season even began. It was just on a fluke and it was just for fun. I was actually interested in Sculpt and all of the other businesses that these people say that they had and that they were bringing to the table. So I just started researching. First of all, was Sculpt, and things just felt a little off to me. As hopeful as I was for this company and these people, it just seemed to be like some things were not right. And then I was made aware of the lawsuit with Zen Garden and etc. So I've been interested and following still from the background. So this video is actually going to be dedicated more so towards Sculpt and the man who is sitting at the helm of Sculpt. Now, before I get into my video, keep in mind that the views I express in my commentary are all alleged. It's my opinion, and it's for fair use. I'm going to drop a little audio clip of the upcoming season, and then I'm going to come back with some commentary. So let's take a listen. Oh, first I need to go ahead and give my disclaimer. So let me go ahead and run my disclaimer. Then I'll run the audio clip, and then I'll come back with my commentary. Hang tight.
For these black men to try to belittle and attack black women that they see being successful.
I'll pay professionals, not actresses, not models, professionals. Because I'm not going to pay you to talk about the t-shirt business.
Last I checked, they got sweatshirts for sale that say black across them.
It's sex theory.
So you heard it. Marsau is upset because Mel did not participate in the Black Business Expo. She wanted to get paid for her expertise, and he's ticked off. And he's making jabs by saying, he pays professionals. Marsau's not a professional himself. He sat up there on that stage and he didn't even know how to answer the questions that were asked of him. And as far as I'm concerned, this expo was a bust. They think it was successful because people showed up. But the thing that they were trying to do, what they were trying to accomplish, in my opinion, wasn't really accomplished. They didn't get any sponsorship. And we know they wanted that money. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm alleging. And so he's upset with Melody for not being there because he didn't have her name to ride off of, because we all know that if Mel had participated in this expo, she would have marketed the heck out of the thing. People would have showed up. It wouldn't have been so overcrowded with vendors, and there would have been more people from the public showing up to support the vendors. And the question that Marsau answered, Melody probably would have answered it for him. And I'm not even going to get into what happened with Martell right now. I'll do that in another video. But yeah, in my opinion, Marsau has bigger fish to fry outside of worrying about Melody not showing up for the business expo or not participating in the expo. There's more things that are happening outside of the show that is more pressing and more important. But of course, he's not going to talk about that, right? Because it's all about the show. It's all about showing us a side of him that doesn't even really exist. Or maybe it does. Because in my opinion, he is a snake. In my opinion, he is sneaky. And in my opinion, he is untrustworthy, right? In my opinion, you can't take him at his word based on his business dealings. I feel like there's been some recent allegations, and you guys can go over to Anthony Lofty's page and channel, and check it out. But there's been some recent allegations, people coming out saying that he didn't do them right in business. He didn't fulfill the contract. He didn't fulfill the promise. He didn't complete the work. The same vein that he operated with Zen Gardens. And I just wonder, the money that he's using to remodel their house that they're in, or the house that they're going back into, I wonder if he used those people's money for his own projects instead of completing the projects that these people paid him for. I mean, allegedly, in my opinion, that makes sense, because no one else is paying him, right? So, I mean, that makes sense to me, allegedly, in my opinion. Like I said, I just feel like he's heartless. And Tisha and Stormy got into a little tiff, and Tisha said to Stormy that she didn't like Marsau's energy when he approached her regarding the $100. But Tisha, this is the vein that Marsau operates in all the time. This is the energy that he operates in when it comes to business, according to everything that we've seen on the show and everything that we've seen outside of the show, but especially everything that we've seen outside of the show. And I also feel, y'all, that Marsau's moving Tisha out of the office was to kind of keep her at bay from some of his shady business practices. I believe that Gino's presence is just for show because, like I said, there have been two people with recent allegations regarding him not completing their work, the work that he was contracted to do, yet taking their money. And these two people, neither one of them mentioned Gino at all. So Marsau taking a dig at Melody regarding her t-shirt line, to me, is a weak stretch of him reaching for nowhere and grabbing at nothing. Mel has several businesses and she can work circles around him with her eyes closed. So, in my opinion, Marsau needs to be careful. Allegedly, these people are starting to come out about his shady dealings in business, making claims which really sound a whole lot like the Zen Gardens ordeal. According to what the streets are saying, Marsau allegedly tries to strong arm people when it comes to business, much like he did with Zen Garden, because that whole thing started with him filing a suit against them, claiming that they didn't pay him when he knows good and well he didn't do the work, he didn't complete the work. People were walking off the job. Some of the work that was done was shoddy work, etc., etc. The list goes on. So then, of course, they countersued him for the $5.5 million, and they cited all of the reasons I just listed, which are very similar to the recent allegations that have come out about him. As a matter of fact, when it comes to the Zen Garden trial, there has been some movement with the case, or things started to move back in April of this year. So the most recent things that have come out is that discovery is due by July 31st. So the discovery phase of the trial is due to the courts by July 31st. Excuse me. I got tongue twisted. The dispositive motions are due by August 28th, and the witness and exhibit list are due by September 15th. And they should be ready to go to trial by October. So I'm going to keep my eye on this particular. People are speculating that Marsau has Tisha as owner of Skult, or part owner of Skult, so she could take the fall if things go bad. Or should I say, when things go bad. Anywho, I'm not sure how her having part ownership releases him from responsibility because his name is still attached and allegedly so is Martell's. So it is going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. And then there are those who are still alleging that Sculpt doesn't have a legitimate builder's license or that Marsau doesn't have a legitimate builder's license, but he actually does. He has a legitimate builder's license which expires at the end of this year in December. So again, we'll see how all of this plays out. We'll have to keep our eyes on the actual streets of Huntsville though. Rely on the internet updates that post legal matters, and of course, those who have boots on the ground. Because one thing for sure, the show will never showcase this criminal behavior. Nope, not CK. He's not going to say anything about it. Owen's not going to say anything about it. Because remember, to them, these people are an example of Black excellence. Nope. CK, he's not going to say a word. He's just sitting in all of his cackling glory, looking like a smitten schoolgirl as he cheers on these fake people and their busted businesses. Anyway, that's all I have for you for today. I'll be back with more commentary shortly. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Like I said, I'll be back. Until then, ciao.